Hi everyone, happy Monday. Today we're going to be looking into and learning more about sharks. And as you can see, I have a KWL chart right next to me. And for those of you who don't know what a KWL chart is, it's a chart that stands for know, so things you know about a certain topic or subject. W, what we want to know about a certain topic or subject. And then L, learned, what we finally learned after reading a book or after you sit in class, what you learned about a certain topic. So since it's summertime and we go to the beach in the summertime, we live very close to the Jersey Shore, I thought why not do a lesson on an animal that lives in the ocean. And an animal that lives in the ocean in warm waters are sharks. And I'm very interested in sharks, but I'm not a shark expert just yet. So today we're going to be filling out a KWL chart for sharks. We'll be reading a nonfiction book about sharks where we'll learn more about this creature. And then after we read the story, we're coming back to our anchor chart and to fill out the learned section. So before we read, we're just filling out what we know about sharks. And then we're filling out the middle column, what we want to know about sharks. And for those of you at home, your chart may look a little different than mine because what I know about sharks might be a little different than what you might know about sharks. You may know a lot about sharks than I do. That's why I want to read a nonfiction story about sharks today because they're interesting creatures. I know that, and I want to learn more about them. So why not create a KWL chart to learn more about these fascinating creatures? So let's start with our K, which is our know. Now I'm asking myself, what do I know about sharks? Well, I know where they live, right? They live in the ocean. So all I'm going to do is jot that down on my anchor chart. It doesn't have to be full sentences. You can just make a bulleted list of things you know about sharks. So I know that sharks live in the ocean. And I'm sure when we read our story, we'll learn even more about different places they might live. Something else I know about sharks is they're a type of fish. So although we call them sharks, we don't call them fish. They are a type of fish. You may not have known that, and that's okay. But now I'm actually teaching you that sharks are a type of fish. Now I'm thinking of another fact that I might know already about sharks. And if you know something that I don't, please comment on my video so you can share with me what you already knew before we read our story today. Something else I know is a type of shark, one of, I'm sure, hundreds of the types of sharks, is called a hammerhead shark. And they're the ones, they have the long horizontal heads and they have the eyes on either side of their head. They're actually really interesting looking, and I probably only know that one type of shark. I know great white sharks too. So I'm just going to write hammerhead, and I'll write great white because those are the types of sharks that I know. And I know you don't want to get close to sharks. It can be dangerous in the wildlife. Okay, now also before we read our story, we can fill out the middle column, which is what do we want to know about sharks? What is something I don't know that hopefully our book is going to teach us? So I want to know if they eat more than just fish. What is their diet? What do they eat? So I'm going to write, what do sharks eat? That's one thing that Miss Troya, me, wants to know. Again, it might be different than something you want to know. Something else can be, do other sea creatures eat sharks? Are they someone's prey? So I'll write, are sharks prey? Which means, do they get eaten by another animal? And something else I want to know is, and now I'm thinking, I'm reflecting about things I want to know. Ooh, I have a good one. How many teeth do sharks have? That's really interesting because when I picture a shark in my head, I picture hundreds of teeth in their mouth. They're super scary. So I want to write, how many teeth do sharks have? If you make a chart at home, please tell me what you are filling in so I know. Now, in the next video I record, it's going to be me reading a story, a nonfiction story, so a real story where we will learn about different types of sharks, how many are out there, how old they live till, and all different facts about sharks. So after I read that story, we're going to come back to our anchor chart and fill out what we learned. And this part's super important because at home, I would love for you to comment either in a private comment or on my post on Google Classroom with what you learned about sharks after reading the story that I'm going to read out loud to you. Be sure to watch all 3 of my videos because they all go along with my chart and the story. Everyone, today we are going to be reading Fly Guy Presents Sharks. And as I read, you are listening to new facts about sharks that you may not have known before that we can add to our KWL chart. And trust me, I am not a shark expert. So there will be a lot of information that we find out as we read the story. So let's get started. Fly Guy Presents Sharks. A boy had a pet fly named Fly Guy. Fly Guy could say the boy's name. Buzz. We see the boy holding up Fly Guy's little home. Buzz and Fly Guy were at the aquarium. Let's go see the sharks, said Buzz. Fly Guy seemed scared. Sharks are cool, said Buzz. There's nothing to be afraid of here at the aquarium. They dived in to find out more. Scientists have found about 400 different kinds of sharks. Each shark has amazing abilities. And we can see a gray reef shark. See, I didn't know that was a shark. A blue shark and a leopard shark. So right now I know that I can add, there are 400 different kinds of sharks onto my chart. Let's keep reading to find out more. And maybe you already knew that information, which is awesome too. Sharks have been around for over 400 million years. And we see a spiny dogfish shark, a basking shark, a prehistoric shark, and a prehistoric shark tooth. That's the size of someone's hand. That is a huge tooth. Sharks are fish. They live in bodies of water all around the world, even in lakes and rivers. Wow, I thought they only lived in oceans. Like other fish, sharks breathe through gills. Gills. And we can see that picture zoomed into the shark's gills. That's how they breathe. A shark skeleton is made of cartilage. Sharks don't have any bones. No bones? Oh, and that's a picture of a hammerhead shark that I was talking about before. Ooh, great white shark. Cartilage makes sharks flexible. They can turn quickly to catch a bite to eat. Coral cat shark. That one looks a lot smaller than the great white. Sharks have many rows of teeth. Only the front row is used for eating. We see the jaw of a nurse shark, and the mouth of a shark can hold thousands of teeth at one time. That's a cookie cutter shark jaws. Wow. So only the front row of teeth is used for eating. Interesting. Jaws of a sand tiger shark. Wow, and you can see Fly Guy is zoomed in with his teeth. And then we see a sand tiger shark. Most sharks are carnivores. They eat meat, such as fish and seagulls. Ooh, so I forgot to talk about the seagulls too. A shark uses its sharp teeth to rip its prey. Then the shark swallows the meat whole without even chewing. I'm hungry. How about a tuna fish sandwich? Not all sharks eat meat. The whale shark is the largest shark in the world. It eats a small plant called plankton and other tiny plants. And that's a whale shark. Plants. Close-up of plankton. That's what they look like. That's what whale sharks eat. Close-up of whale shark teeth. Most sharks have rough skin made of denticles. It feels hard and sharp. Denticles protect sharks from harm. There's a blue shark and a blue shark's tiny denticles or parts of skin. The rough skin. It's a great white shark, rough and tough. A great white shark's denticles. Ooh, they look really pointy. A Greenland shark denticles are at the bottom. They also look pretty pointy to keep their predators away. A nurse shark. Nurse sharks have smoother skin than most sharks. It feels like sandpaper. Other fish have smooth, slippery scales. A shark's teeth can bite right through them. Ooh, and then we see pictures of sandpaper. They're thinking of the feel of the shark's skin. Sharks have super senses. That makes them great hunters. There's the nose of a Moses smoothhound shark and a big eye hound shark and its ear. It's a tiny, looks like a tiny dot, a tiny hole for its ear. A shark can hear its prey moving underwater. It can even hear a fish's muscles moving as it swims. And that's a white-tip reef shark. A shark has special eyesight that helps it to navigate through the dark, murky water. But a shark can feel its prey nearby without even seeing it. People need special glasses to see in the dark. Sharks are very smart. They have brains just like humans and flies. They have super sensitive noses to sniff out their next meal. 2/3 of a shark's brain is used for smelling. That's another picture of a great white shark. A great white shark can smell blood from 3 miles away. That's so far. Many baby sharks, which are called pups, hatch from eggs. A mother shark can have up to 100 pups at a time. A swell shark embryo within the egg. A newborn swell shark coming out of its egg case. Wow. Most sharks live to be about 25 years old. That's way longer than the life of a fly. A newborn lemon shark pup swimming away from its mother, and you can see that picture at the bottom. Sharks do not sleep. Most have to keep moving in order to breathe. Sharks are super fast swimmers. They can move up to 25 miles per hour, but they cannot swim backward. Ooh, interesting. I didn't know that they didn't sleep. I know I'm going to add that to my chart. Some sharks are nocturnal hunters. They are more active at night. In the dark, a cookie cutter shark uses a special light called luminescence. This light makes the shark look smaller so that its prey is not scared away. The shark surprises its prey and takes a cookie-sized bite. Ooh, and we can see a picture of a cookie cutter shark at the bottom. This one glows in the dark. So cool. Wow, said Buzz. We learned a lot about sharks today. They are so cool. Fly Guy was not scared anymore. Fly Guy, said Buzz, I can't wait for our next field trip. I don't know about you all, but I learned so much about sharks just from watching and reading that story. So your chart may look a lot different than mine, and you may have learned things that I didn't know or you didn't know. So please let me know what you took out of this book, what you learned about sharks from this book. I know I learned a lot more about sharks just after reading one nonfiction novel. So, something I learned was that there are 400 different kinds of sharks. I didn't know that before. 400 different kinds of sharks. Something else I learned is that they don't only live in oceans, they also live in lakes and rivers. So remember, they don't have to be complete sentences. So I'm just writing lakes and rivers. Right? Because before I said that they live in the ocean. So now I learned that they also live in lakes and rivers. Something else that I thought was fascinating was that sharks don't sleep. I don't know how they do it. I feel like everyone needs to sleep at nighttime or take a nap. So they do not sleep. I definitely had no idea that they do not sleep. And then one more fact that I'll add to my chart is that they have special eyesight to navigate through the dark water. So special eyesight to navigate. That means to like swim through or go through the dark waters. So I learned so much about sharks, and I hope you did too. Now I looked up a really exciting food recipe that has to do with sharks. So I hope you keep watching this video so you can make this exciting and delicious treat at home for you and your family. So keep watching. Hi everyone, so I mentioned in this video earlier that I have found a special recipe for you to make a really delicious dessert at home that has to do with sharks after this lesson. So today I'm going to teach you how to make shark jello. So the ingredients you'll need, and you can find any of these at the dollar store. You may have some at home as well. You need blue jello, and you need blue specifically because it's supposed to look like water. You need a clear cup so you can see the blue jello. You'll need a gray piece of paper or a piece of plastic that you're able to cut. And you'll need whipped cream. So like I said, you may have some at home and you may not, but you can find any of these at the dollar store. I know I only had red jello, so I ran to the dollar store to get blue jello. Oops. So step 1 is to make the jello. And making jello is super simple and easy, but you definitely might need a parent or an older sibling to help you out. So you need to boil water on a stove with a parent or guardian with you, because boiling means water is getting very hot. Step 2, add jello mix to boiling water, and the mix is inside of the box of jello. Then you stir until the mix is dissolved or you don't see it any longer. Then you add 2 tablespoons of cold water. You keep stirring. Pour into the plastic cup because at this point our water and our jello mix is cooled off. And then you place it in the refrigerator for 3 hours for the jello to set. In the meantime, step 2 is to take your gray piece of plastic or paper and cut it into a triangle. Kind of add a little curve to the right side of the triangle so your triangle looks like a shark fin. So at first you can cut it into a perfect triangle, or you could try your best. And then when you're done, I use that arrow to show how you can turn it to make it look like a shark fin. Step 3. After 3 hours, take the Jell-O out of the refrigerator and pour whipped cream on top of the Jell-O. So you see in the picture below that they put a little bit of whipped cream. You can put a lot of whipped cream on the Jell-O. You can add layers or you can do as much as you want. You can just make it look like the picture below. Step 4. Add your shark fin. So if you look at the picture, you can see the blue Jell-O looks like the ocean, river, or lake water. And you have the white for the top of the water. And then you have the shark fin at the top, so it looks like a shark is peeking out of the top of the ocean, which is what we see in movies, and it's what we also saw in the book we read today. So I hope you enjoyed your shark lesson. Please let me know under my comments, under my post, or in a private comment, or you can even email me fun and interesting things that you learned about sharks today. I know I thought I was an expert on sharks, but it turns out I had a lot left to learn. I hope you all have a fabulous day. Let me know how your Jell-O dessert comes out.